What is going on, Laker fans? Welcome to pregame live talk, your home of Los Angeles Lakers. Excuse my stream. Seems like there's a technical difficulty earlier on my StreamYard. The YouTube has completely blocked my live stream. Says that I violated the policy regulation. I don't know what that means. Because I didn't do anything. I didn't even use their copyright music. Maybe if it's the video that I'm using, that I'm showing the NBA highlights from the NBA website, if that means that I will not be using the highlights anymore, YouTube seems to just being an ass these days. Like they're making so much money, they're trying to block everyone who's trying to monetize. Not trying to monetize this channel. I'm just being honest. I just want to be able to talk about my favorite team and my favorite league, and being able to just share with people. If I'm using their highlight video is against their policy, then fuck with it. I'm not. It's not worth of my time. I'm just gonna live stream a webcam from now on. I won't be able to show any highlights or videos, but I could use my other third-party stream software, and I'll probably use that. I'll be able to show the videos as well. But I'm definitely not going to use the StreamYard to stream my live through the YouTube. Right? That's just not going to happen. So let's just cover some of the keys to the game tonight. Lakers have to do the same thing they did against last night. It's a back-to-back game, so the fatigue's definitely getting onto them, and it's a road game. So they're playing 2 games in 2 straight nights. So I think Lakers will come out strong early, try to take the commanding lead, and just rest the starters. By the time we have the commanding lead, like 20 points lead, then the fourth quarter will be a garbage time. You can try to play a lot of young guys and give them an opportunity. Same thing they did last night. They need to minimize their turnovers. They committed 20, and they're averaging around 15.5 this season. Still not ideal for a team that wants to play a perfect basketball. And we'll try to talk about the X factor. Who do you think will be X factor tonight? I'm gonna go with the bench production. The bench guys have to step up, and they need to show that. Wesley Matthews will be out for precaution. He has the Achilles soreness, and I think he's the only guy out. I'm not sure about Jared Dudley playing tonight, but it's confirmed that LeBron and Anthony Davis will be in the starting lineup. So it's good news. And the other guys I look forward to, maybe I need to see Dennis Schroeder be more consistent. He was great last night, scored 14 points. He shot well. He wasn't forcing anything, and he was also defending. So I see a really aggressive side of Dennis Schroeder the past 2 games. He's been very engaged with the defense. So I need to see that again. It'll be really interesting if the Lakers can stay perfect on the road. They have 6-0. They've lost 3 times at home. They've never lost on the road game this season. That's impressive. Other things that I like to talk about is the James Harden trade. I did mention earlier about my video, but I think most of the people probably missed it. So James Harden is officially traded to New Jersey Nets. And New Jersey giving a lot of picks to Houston Rockets. It's basically a trade between the picks. And it's a 3-way deal with the Rockets, New Jersey, and Indiana Pacers, Cleveland Cavaliers, and also Indiana Pacers. So it's a four-way deal. So it's a big trade for those teams. But most beneficial team out of this trade is definitely New Jersey Nets. There's no question about it. They're getting the superstar in James Harden, and they got to keep Kyrie Irving still. So that's impressive, right? So I'm just gonna go over this full current trade. Rockets getting Victor Oladipo, Dante Exum, Rodion Kulux, and 3 Brooklyn Nets first rounders, 22, 24, 26, and 1 Milwaukee first round is unprotected, and 4 Brooklyn Nets first round swaps, so 2021, 2023, 2025, 2027. And the New Jersey Nets getting James Harden and the second round picks. And the Pacers getting Karis LeVert in second round. And the Cleveland Cavaliers receiving Jarrett Allen and Taurean Prince. So it's a 4-way deal. Rockets are rich with their picks. Now they're going to full rebuilding mode, maybe rebuilding around John Wall. Victor Oladipo is also all-star player. He's not a franchise player in any mean, so he could be used for the future trade. But they're gonna keep him for now. They have a very shallow in depth, and it's gonna be hard for Rockets to really make a playoff this season since they lost their roster. The superstar's gone. They don't have that guy that could put up 40 points every night. They need to play more team ball right now. And I think the Rockets will play better than they did before. So now they look like they have that chemistry they need to build on. Since James Harden is gone now, the Rockets can definitely just relax and then try to play their ball. You think New Jersey can be a threat to the Lakers? We'll have to see about that. They have a chemistry issue, I think, and their bench got a little more weaker. They lost Karis LeVert, Jarrett Allen, the focal 2 main player from the bench, because Dinwiddie is out with the injury, so he'll be out for the whole season. I think if he was healthy, he would have been involved in a trade. But they at least have Dinwiddie still in the lineup. He's coming back next season, maybe in the playoff time. So they still have a decent bench scorer. So I think my starting lineup for the New Jersey newly looking Nets look like Kyrie, Harden, KD. Not really sure about the 4. Could be Joe Harris. Yeah, I think Joe Harris will be 3, and KD will be 4, and DeAndre Jordan will be 5. So that's my starting 5. And they look dangerous. Of course, they have a 3-and-D guy like Joe Harris. KD can score from anywhere. Kyrie and Harden, great playmaker. But I think they need to let Kyrie handle more. I think they're gonna let the Kyrie being the facilitator and let him handle the ball. And James Harden probably will move around off the ball. You need to develop those kind of basketball skill. You cannot play the same way you did with the Rockets. So he needs to really sacrifice a little bit. That's how the team can flow. They can play effectively on the floor together. So I'm gonna definitely say the New Jersey Nets is gonna be at least top 1 or 2 team in the East now. with the James Harden in the lineup, is definitely favorite to come out of the East. The West, I'm still picking the Lakers. There's no one else I think is playing better than Lakers right now. The records showing it, the margins showing it. They're top 5 team in the offense and defense. I think they're the only team that's doing that in the league. And they're playing excellent basketball. The bench looks there's no weakness in their team. They have a decent coach. There's a decent starter. I can't say decent. They have the excellent starter lineup with AD, LeBron, and then you have Shooter, KCP, Gasol. Maybe the center position is only the position they're lacking. They still need the extra big man, and that'll be perfect. There's nothing that they can really withstand. Clippers, I don't know. They beat Lakers in the first game, but that was just because Lakers wasn't playing their best game. If they're playing right now, I think Lakers will win. The way they're playing right now, at the moment, they're playing better than Clippers. It's not because they beat a low, I would say, disinterest team like Rockets. Yeah, you can't really give a credit by beating Rockets twice. The team didn't look like they want to play together. I haven't seen a team that looks that disengaged. Nothing was working for them during that 2 game. If you guys have any comments, just leave it on the message. So then I'll talk about the rest of the NBA. There's a couple COVID-19 related news. So from January 6th to until now, there are 16 new NBA players have tested positive for coronavirus out of 497 players. So apparently coronavirus is an issue. There are a lot of games being postponed due to coronavirus health and safety policy. The 76ers, Ben Simmons is very ecstatic to not be traded from Sixers to Houston for James Harden. He believes his team is capable of bringing a title to Philadelphia. And Doc Rivers is also a huge fan of Simmons and believes that best is yet to come with 2-time NBA All-Star. What do you think about this comment from Doc Rivers? Do you think Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid and the rest of the supporting cast say, because those are the 2 big guys in the Sixers, right? They have Tobias Harris, so you could put him in the big 3, but Tobias Harris his skill is a little lacking to be a big 3. Do you think they are capable of winning the championship? Providing that Doc Rivers is the new head coach. He has won the championship before with the big 3 in Boston, but because they had real big 3 like Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, all 3 Hall of Famers. But I can't say the same thing for the Philadelphia right now. I say Joel Embiid definitely could be a Hall of Fame. I think Ben Simmons is too early to say. He doesn't have the personal accolade to be in the Hall of Fame, the definite candidate. Tobias Harris is definitely not the one to be in the Hall of Fame. They have a lot of veteran guys they acquired during this offseason, like Danny Green, Dwight Howard, guys that could do anything to make the team a contender. Like they'll do all the works, other than scoring the basket. But Danny Green looks like he picked up a little bit. He scored like 29 points the last game. So I cannot really think. I cannot picture that Sixers is going to win this year. Maybe a couple years down the road, if the Ben Simmons really step up his game, develop his mid-range jumper and three-pointer, become more dangerous in offense. He's a great defender, by the way. He's like a definite candidate for being in the first team all defense. His strength is defense and playmaking and, pretty much all-around game. Other than scoring the basket, like he can score only within like 5 or 3 feet. If you go beyond that, you cannot rely on that. I'm picking Sixers definitely a favorite to win the East, with the Bucks, Nets, and the Sixers. Those are three teams that I'll pick to be in the Eastern Final or even the NBA Final. But I wouldn't pick them to beat the Lakers. If the Sixers meet in the final, I will still pick the Lakers. Washington, Detroit games and Phoenix, Golden State game is postponed, accordance with the league's health and safety protocols. So one of those two teams does not have minimum 8 players required to proceed the match. There's a new news came out. According to Brian Windhorst, he's calling the deal an effort to keep Durant long term. So by trading Harden, New Jersey's hoping to keep Durant for long term, so that make Durant happy. This is the trade. The main reason they did the trade is to keep Durant, stay there for long term, and make him happy, so that he won't want to leave. It does make sense, because Kevin Durant is definitely the guy that you want to build a franchise around, and he's probably tired of getting traded anymore. I'm pretty sure he want to stay in Brooklyn Nets until he retires. If he wins a championship, that's a plus, right? So any player that wins the championship, they tend to stay longer. If even they don't win this year, if they don't win like next year, if he can see that the potential, the possibility of staying as a contender for a while, he definitely want to stay there. See, he's not even thinking about winning that many championships. I think he just want to win 1 or 2. I don't think he wants to be the GOAT. Like LeBron James still chasing that ghost in Chicago. KD is not like that. You just want to feel settled and just feel secure, and then retire. He might retire even early than many people expecting. He could retire in a couple of years. After you win 1 or 2 chip, I think he's gone. As long as he can play ball, as long as he can have fun playing ball, if he doesn't see any interest in playing ball anymore, then he's definitely going to retire. He's kind of guy like that. It's not like a devoted guy who will give everything for basketball, because he got other things in the mind too. He does like a venture, side business. He's also interested in owning his own company. Definitely like not just all into the basketball kind of guy. Like LeBron, same thing. But LeBron, because he's been able to play for so long, because he joined the league when he was 18. But Kevin Durant, on the hand, he joined the league when he was like 20 or 19. So it's like a 1-year difference of gap. All right, what do you think about New Jersey, making this deal that they could keep the Kevin Durant for a long time? You agree with the organization? I think it was a great thing for the Nets to haste the deal. They could have waited longer before the trade deadline, because deadline is like the end of February. but they did it anyway. For the Rockets, it wasn't early because they wanted to get rid of James Harden as soon as possible. They would keep pursuing the deal. Eventually, they found the right deal today. They were able to make it happen. But before that, they were unsure whether James Harden want to stay with the team and want to get traded right away. See, there were a lot of multiple reports about James Harden, how he's feeling at the current moment. And James Harden always expressed frustration toward the media by his current situation. And then yesterday was, I think that's done. The way the comments he made last night, that triggered the deal right away. I think you remember saying this team is unfixable. I think that's what he said. He said the current situation is unfixable. That just means that he's no longer interested in playing with the team. He's frustrated the way they're going. He expressed the gratitude toward the fans and the organization. But that's when the players make that kind of comments before they leave the team. So I knew that the Rockets is going to make the trade anytime soon. I wasn't even surprised to hear that James Harden got traded today, but I was surprised that the New Jersey didn't lose Kyrie Irving. Because a lot of news are circling around Kyrie Irving nowadays that he got caught attending sister's birthday with a large crowd, and then NBA leagues are fining for his unsportsmanship-like action. And I thought New Jersey wasn't happy, with the Kyrie Irving, so I thought they were gonna get rid of him, but they're keeping him. I guess they saw the potential of being a big three, kept that core. It's because I'm streaming through my webcam. I'm not streaming through the StreamYard, not using the third-party app. The YouTube seems to block my third-party. Never happened. I don't know. But I see a lot of other streamers using StreamYard, and they're showing the NBA clips, and didn't have a problem. They never got banned for that. I don't know. I think YouTube just being an ass these days. They're making too much money. And people try to be like, everyone try to be YouTuber these days, and they're probably not making as much benefit as before. Because everyone's trying to monetize their channel. It's ridiculous. Even a guy like me, I'm not trying to profit anything from running my channel. I'm just trying to do it for fun. I'm trying to talk with all these basketball fans and share their opinions. And it's more like, instead of just texting with each other, or like a chat room, or like a Reddit, what do you call that? Forgot the app called Discord. Yeah, Discord. So you could actually message us on Discord, and I have a sports like Flick Chat. It's where you can chat with a lot of Laker fans before the game, after the game. But I like to talk with fans, like showing my face and like just talk straight and just express my anger toward whatever, if I'm not happy. Yeah, it's frustrating. Like, I'm gonna try to use my third-party software. I have a split streamer. That one I could use it. I could probably use my clip as well. I'm gonna try that instead of using StreamYard. Like YouTube doesn't like StreamYard, I guess. They want us to use their platform more than the third party. But like policy violation, I don't understand. Like I don't remember like violating anything. I just want to be able to show some clips, right? Like then I can discuss about the game. Like using my webcam, I'm not able to do that. I can't even use the link. So it's very unfortunate like that I won't be able to, but I'm gonna try using StreamYard again. See if they're gonna block my streaming. If that happens again, then I'm just gonna try to stream through my XSplit. So the game's starting less than 10 minutes. And what's your prediction for tonight's game? I would say Lakers will take this game fairly easy, probably like a blowout game. But remember they're playing back-to-back. This game could get ugly. Some games Lakers really, you expect Lakers to really blow out the team, and they just come out really sloppy. They make a lot of mistake, and then they keep the game close. They let the other team come back. Same thing happened during I don't remember which game it was, but Bulls game, yeah, definitely was like that. You knew that Lakers was going to take the Bulls easy, but the Lakers won by 2 points. The Bulls would keep coming back. They even took a lead. So it was ugly. Well, like that. I think I could expect the same thing happen tonight. Lakers sometimes just come out very sloppy. Yeah, 104.90. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 110, 100, like something close to last night's game. But actually, it really depends how they come out in the first quarter. If they come out really strong in the fourth quarter and they just dominate in the paint, play their transition game, move the ball around well, find the right spot, they're just gonna cruise. They will be in the cruise control the whole game. Yeah, it's really great time for Lakers to continue to dominate the way they did against the Rockets for past 2 games, and never go out of that flow. I think they look like they're starting to get really comfortable with each other. Like through that 10 game, first 5-6 game, they looked very uncomfortable with each other. Like, and who do you think is going to be the X factor tonight? X factor, some guy that you expect that you wouldn't expect much normally, but will show up. Like AD, LeBron and AD is always 2 guys that you can rely on. I don't call them an X factor, so it could be KCP. KCP is putting a nice performance for a whole season. He's not scoring that much, but he's shooting well. His career best in threes. I think Gasol. Yeah, Gasol definitely needs a little more production. I will say THT. I'm gonna go with THT tonight. Since THT has a lot of proof to do. He has a chip on his shoulder. And those kind of guys usually perform well against a low team like Oklahoma City Thunder. Really depends. If the Lakers take game easy, they take a big lead, I think they're going to give a lot of chance to THT. He's going to get at least 20 minutes of playing time at 20 to 25. Yeah. he didn't show up much in the last night's game. So I was disappointed with THC's performance last night. He struggled a little bit on the field. But before that game, remember, he scored 17 points. He had the highest scoring from the bench in 21 minutes. So that was an excellent performance for PHP. So I expect him to dominate the same way he did in the first game against Rockets. So my pick will be THC. Yeah. And Lakers bench will outscore the Thunder's bench. But I don't even really know all the names of Thunder's bench because they got a lot of new guys, and it'll be difficult to just remember all the names. If you're not interested in this particular team, or of course, it's my job to try to study all the roster names. They just have a lot of guys that you probably never heard of. Like, only guy you probably know is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. What other guys do you know from the OKC? I mean, they don't have Steven Adams anymore. They don't have Chris Paul. Shooter is gone. So they pretty much have a completely different roster. So I can't really tell which players they have other than Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Harold's playing well up to this date. He's doing what he's supposed to do. Just looking to score every time, try to set the picks for this team, score in the paint, be dominant on the board. He's averaging not as good as last year because he's not getting that much playing time. When he was with the Clippers, he was almost like a starting minutes. Right? I don't think he's gonna be the candidate for the Sixth Man of the Year this season, unless Lakers really give him a lot of playing time. But he's been living up to that expectation. He's capable. He's a guy who's capable of scoring 15 and 10 every night if you give him the minutes. Yeah, he scored 14 last game, and he was close to getting the double-double. So remember, he had 11 double-double last season as a bench player. That's impressive, right? He didn't even start the game last season. He never had a starting job. He had 11 double-double coming off the bench. That's not easy to do. What do you think Kuzma will play? Kuzma will be okay. He's coming off the bench. We'll probably get 20 or 25 minutes of playing time, and probably gonna score 10 to 15, I'll say. But most of his points probably come in the garbage time. I think you don't see much of Kuzma production when games close. He hits the critical three sometimes. He's a guy you can rely on buzzer beat, at end of the game or when the clock is running out. He's a guy that you can rely on. But if he has too much time in his hands, if he fumbles too much, you tend to make a mistake. Either commit a turnover, making brick shots. Yeah, you want Kuzma to have all the pressure all the time. You want him to have the pressure. He's a guy who can knock down the jumper when he has the pressure. I think he could be an excellent closer at the end of the game. And you've seen a couple plays like that. Even last year during the bubble, he made the buzzer beater three when the clock was running out. I've seen him make end of quarter buzzer beater many times. I think he seems to make better percentage when someone's on his face. Rather than he's wide open, he thinks too much, he just misses it. That's how inconsistent Kuzma sounds. Right? If you're a great player, you gotta make shots no matter what situation you're in. But Kuzma looks like he seems to make better shot. He seems to make shots better when it's contested than when it's wide open. All right, the game started in 1 minute. I'm gonna head out, and then we'll discuss more after the game. Probably won't be live streaming, but definitely post up the post-game recap and my opinions about the game. I hope you guys enjoy the game, and see you guys later.